Welcome to this week's episode of the Court Report. We're going to get started off with a new edition of Tunnel Talk. Then from there, jump into the mine shaft and discuss Peyton Watson's recent success, and then finish everything off with some hardwood headlines as we discuss the NBA as a whole. And plus, we have a very special guest on the show. This and more on this week's episode of the Court Report. Welcome, everyone, to our show. But before we get into everything, we have a very special guest, Sam. It's Fresh Sam from social media. For those of you who already know her, welcome on our show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
good to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having. We're happy to have you here today. We're happy to always have good guests on, but specifically, this is our first Tunnel Talk guest who knows fashion. Tell the people about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, so from Denver, fashion designer, wardrobe stylist, went off to LA, started styling celebrities, working for different companies, and became, I guess you could call me a fashion expert. Is what they call me, so that's long story short.
Okay. I mean, hey, it's hard to do that, and it's hard to put clothes together and make it look good on people in general, right? We all know this, as we've seen on our show as well.
Yeah, well, Sam, you take it a step further too, and you also design your own clothing as well. True, right?
I do, yeah.
You're wearing some of that right now?
I am, yes.
Yeah.
New fit. I came up with a slogan that says, "What does your soul sound like?" And so I put it all over untraditional items. But yeah, I love to empower people through clothing. I think it can be a really powerful tool, so
yeah,
that's my favorite thing.
It's a great way to express your inner personality through almost how you would see yourself in any situation, right? Because we all kind of see ourselves a certain way when we look in the mirror, but clothing is kind of that universal look that can really help style and define who you think you are, at least, to a certain degree. Obviously, it's not painting the whole picture, but it's just a cool little look inside. It's a unique space.
Yeah, it's an expression, right? It's an expression, and we're all about that on the Court Report here. I think one of the only sports shows that does fashion and sports on the podcast
that we know
of. I mean, we got to go deep in. If there's some out there that we don't know, go ahead and send them to us, and we'll talk about them. But for Colorado, I know that this is one of the only ones that's focused on that. So I think that's an expression as well. And we're happy to have you here to help us talk about some of those kind of expressive outfits that we've seen.
We've
in the tunnel.
We've done a lot of different fits here and gone through a lot of different looks and given our opinions on those. So excited to have a true fashion expert in the building, not only designing the clothes, but styling the clothes. So it's a good, well-rounded perspective. So DC, speaking of expression.
Yeah.
Well, I guess before we get into the tunnel talk, let's talk, Sam, a little bit more about you here. So walk us through a little bit of your journey. You're here from Denver, but you have some experience in LA. Can you walk us through kind of what that looked like for you?
Yeah, so starting your fashion career in Brighton, Colorado is like not really where you would want to start a fashion career, but I did love being around my family, and eventually there was one day where I hit a peak, as most creatives in Denver hit, and went off to LA and had the fashion district at my fingertips, had mentors, and just was able to really build a fashion career, and did that, and it was really cool. And now I'm back to Denver to do the same thing that I've done there for my people here, people like yourselves. And I just mentioned to you guys, a lot of people think I only style for celebrities or whatever, insert, but I style for humans. Like, I'm excited to introduce a new personal styling program into Denver, specifically for anyone who wants to feel empowered every day versus like stressed out by their clothing. That's really important to me. I see the power. I know the power from every piece of building a garment, how powerful it can be to empower and just how somebody feel like themselves. So that's what I'm here to do as I travel, and anytime I'm in Denver, I'm here to elevate in some way.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
So when you go about styling somebody,
Yeah.
what is your traditional approach to that? How do you find the right outfit for an individual?
So I get to know them, personal style is very personal. Once I get to know you, your lifestyle, what are we dressing for? What does your day-to-day look like? I reverse engineer that and put together a fit based on lifestyle, somebody's complexion, somebody's type, body type. There's so many variables. Like fashion is truly a science, you know. In my head, there's always a formula when I see someone. And so to get that formula, I have to get to know the person first. And it's beautiful because I love people. So
Oh,
consultations include, you know, either mimosas or coffee, and it's a good time.
Yeah. No, I was going to ask about that because, you know, when you're getting to know these people, are there certain things that they're saying like, oh, you know what, I really like to wear this kind of clothing, or I like to wear this kind of pant, or I want to get into, you know, this kind of look, and I like what this person's doing. Like, do they kind of give you those kind of hints as you're going forward?
Yeah, I have to ask all the questions. Sometimes clients either know what they like or they have no idea what they like.
Okay.
And so I can work with whatever place you're at in life as far as knowing your style. What's cool and working within the Hollywood industry and like working with entertainers helped me be able to like craft someone's look from nothing. Like that is one of my specialties.
Okay.
Is like seeing, you know, as I dive into styling athletes, you know, it's really cool because a lot of them don't have an identifiable style.
Right.
And so being able to bring that to them is, you know, is very important to them, but also really fun for me.
Yeah.
So and it doesn't matter whatever, not just athletes, but like people.
Yeah. And that's cool because, you know, now, you know, that particularly with the athletes, but people in general, right? You're out in public, like you want to look good, you want to be confident in yourself, but obviously you see that these athletes want to have a impact and look a little confident in themselves as they walk into the games, right? And they want to make a little bit of a statement before they go put on that uniform. And so I think that's a really cool insight to see that, you know what, let's sit down. I sit down and we kind of go through everything that they maybe want and how they want to look before just being like, put this on.
Yes, intentional about what you're wearing. And also like it's, as we're seeing more than ever, very lucrative too, right?
Right.
Like players that can also become fashion icons are making so much more than players that are just players on the court. And like this is just biased. This is just truth and numbers, opinion, you know, not opinion. This is just information based.
Right.
So that's really cool, seeing how fashion and sports is just combining, but also very lucrative and helping the players on it off the court too.
Yeah.
So what do you think really started that in the athlete community? I think this is something that's not necessarily new, but definitely a more so recent shift when it came to players taking more thought into what they're wearing, stylists getting involved, brands getting involved. What do you think was part of the catalyst for that? Like what caused that?
I think sports players started becoming and being looked at as celebrities. You know, obviously they've always been celebrities, but were they on red carpets? Were they at award shows? No, but they are now, you know? And so I think we've turned athletes into untraditional athletes. Like Michael Jordan, I can't think of a time where he was at, you know, a fashion show or like, you know, he didn't he didn't do those things.
Right.
But now these are athletes who are fashion icons and you know, they put on a brand and now that brand is doing really well. Like it's just really interesting to see the people at the end of the day. People are just canvases.
Yeah.
So you
Kinda
know,
like
you
Chrome
throw
Hearts,
a brand.
the way Chrome Hearts has come back and blown up in this way.
Yeah, a lot of these athletes, they're the reason.
Yeah.
And so that's where the power.
Right. They control the narrative in that way and influence
the market.
Yeah.
The sales.
That's pretty crazy when you think about it, you know, where it's like, if I can get this piece on someone.
So I think you just answered your question. Wherever the attention goes,
it's true. The money flows.
Yeah.
That part.
Because they become marketable in all aspects of their life. Like you're saying, they're expanding the viewership with social media and all these other outside factors. Now you don't need a TV studio to broadcast to audiences of millions.
That's
and that totally changes how brands perceive exposure. I mean, it's totally true. Like it used to be only the very cream of the crop people you're seeing on TV at award shows, like you're saying, and now it's that plus more.
Yep.
And so it's such an interesting time for fashion and just sports in general, because we're shifting to more of this over-encompassing brand that is a player rather than just focusing on the court. So it's just so interesting to me. And my question for you, Sam, is who do you think really was the first person that you would recognize as somebody to have stepped out and started kind of more of this fashion-based trend in sports.
Yeah.
Is there somebody that you recognize in particular?
Yes, and sorry, already names are my weakness. He's on OKC. Shea, like, man, if you killing it. I'm so proud of him. I mean, I don't know anything about him other than he styles himself and he does a really,
that's
really
new,
good
actually.
job.
I did not
know that.
We did not know that he styles himself.
Yeah.
Okay, that would explain a lot, though.
Yeah, he's really into fashion, and so it's true, authentic, and organic. But he does a really good job at styling his fits. He takes the initiative at making sure he looks really good on every tunnel walk.
Yep.
Which is like a runway.
Which is like a runway, yeah.
And so, yeah, I just have a lot of respect for him because he is my perfect example of the power of fashion in sports. Like Louis Vuitton, I'm pretty sure sponsors him. Like the deal that they have together is massive. Like, would he have been able to get that deal if he wasn't a fashion icon
before? Yeah, prior.
So I think it's just really cool the bridge we're seeing in fashion and in sports, but also influencer marketing.
Yeah,
at the root of it, right? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. And speaking of Shea, should we hop to the tunnel and see what we have today?
see.
I think we are.
Because
we covered some good stuff.
I may have picked a Shea.
You probably did.
I may have picked a Shea.
So Sam, a little backstory for you. DC and I are not always the biggest fan of Shea's fashion. So we'll be really interested to hear what you have to say coming as an expert and just coming in. I know you're like more of like everyone to their own taste and everything, but I'm just interested. I love to hear kind of what your thoughts are and what makes it good for you.
I'm also excited to hear your take on why you aren't a big fan.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm a simple guy as I sit here wearing something not very simple, but I don't know. We'll see. We got to see what DC's got here first.
We'll see. So our first look is Shea coming in. We got a ripped jean. It's a fur coat.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a big fur coat.
This is one of the better ones that I do like from him.
I actually don't dislike this outfit.
It's kind of more laid back for him. But it looks
kind of
but it is a very flashy fur coat.
Yeah. A little ostentatious for a chill fit.
It is, but it might be cold outside. I don't know. He's only got a t-shirt on underneath it, so it can't be like that cold.
This is fashion.
Yeah.
This is great.
All right, let's get Sam's take first.
It's a neutral fit, neutral colors. That's where you kind of feel like it's a down, styled down look. It's neutral. He has similar color cap. White basic tee underneath, ripped jeans, simple. I can't tell what he's wearing on his shoes, but just maybe some Nike.
Probably Converse.
Not Converse. Yeah, something simple. It's a simple look. Like, I think he did it well. This is just on a, Wednesday or something, probably. Like,
casual Wednesday.
Casual Wednesday game fit.
A little like $20,000 coat.
Probably like
something
50.
chill.
Some light. But this was a good one.
This
is a good one. I like this one.
Yeah.
I like this one a lot. And I like a lot of the ones that we're going to see today. I will say that.
Cool.
Okay, that's good. For me with this one, it's just, I do enjoy it. I definitely think this works a lot better. The color coordination, the neutral coloring, it really comes together much better than the other ones. I would have probably preferred maybe a darker color jean, but that isn't like not working for the fit. It actually does work. I usually just like a little pop to like make the white look more white. Okay. But overall, like, probably the best fit I've seen SGA in on the show. Yeah, I would have to say, like,
and maybe I'll have another one for us at the end so we can see.
Okay, but honestly, this is it. Like, this is a good fit.
This is a good fit.
If you got to give it 1 out of 10, what are you going with? Sam?
I would say this is a really chill fit. So, but because he has some really good looks that he like pulls out for really great fits that are like a 10. So, because of simplicity, color, I would give this a 6.
Okay,
not bad.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, that's good. All right, well, let's move on to our boy Russ.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
we're a German explorer here. That's kind of what I'm getting.
This is Safari Russ.
Yeah,
is this Denver Russ
with the Michael Jackson socks and the Michael Jackson loafers? Is what I'm seeing here.
It's the socks with the loafers, and then like not wearing any other dress clothes outside of, I guess you could consider the hat a dressy.
I do like the hat.
Hat's not bad, but
like
the rest of the fit in combo makes it look a little off because it does genuinely look like he's about to go on a camping trip.
Yeah.
outside of the dress shoes.
Or,
but,
lead a youth group through
man,
the woods.
he might as well
you
have just thrown some green Tims on or something at that point. Like,
He could have.
just ready for the hike. It's
What,
like
what do
taking
we
the
think
troop
about
out.
this one, Sam?
Man, so I've never, I don't know if I've ever seen a too well tailored look. Like, I think his top, like, I think this fit could work, but I don't think the jacket should be buttoned, or the I don't know. I think it looks like a jacket, but I don't know. I don't think it should be buttoned or zipped. I don't think it should be zipped. If he had like a long white tee, the gap between his belt, like where his pants cut off and his jacket cuts off, is just not working. I think his look could work if he had a long t-shirt on with
Just
his
something to break
jacket
it up.
unzipped to break it up. Yeah, because it's unique. Like I like the loafers. I like the even white Papa socks. Like, it's fine. It's individual style, but where for me it's not working is that it's too fitted. And I know he's probably got a great six-pack under there or something, so he's not bulky, but the way the jacket looks zipped up makes him look that way. So
yeah. Kind of looks like a scoutmaster.
Yeah.
He's gonna like lead the troop.
He does.
To the camping site for the night.
John, our producer, says he's got to cover up his legs.
Yeah. I mean, that would help. I think for me it's just too much of the same color. It's like really hard. Like, it's like a blob.
Yeah.
When I look at it,
it's all like it's not my favorite.
Hard to dissect it down.
Fit.
Yeah.
Something's off about it.
Something's off.
It's almost like overall, like one zip up.
Yeah, this one needs some work.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Sorry, Russ,
you're
not on safari today.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.
Yeah,
give it a 3.
I'm gonna say just not it.
Not it.
Not it. Not doing it for me.
All right, next we got our boy Vanderbilt.
Jared. Oh, Jared.
Okay.
Now, I in theory I like this fit. I don't know if it all works, and it maybe look like in something that casually. I got to go back to Michael Jackson. I feel like it's a Michael Jackson fit from the '80s in some capacity.
Okay.
But I like the cuffed jean. I like the tie. This is not his wildest outfit, and I'm okay with this one.
Okay.
What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, I think this is a good, like, simple fit too. Like, simple, complex. Love the tie. Ties are in. The button up coming out from under the bomber. I think that's like a leather bomber.
Yeah.
Super cool color. Love the color. The tie and the shoes, or in his his shoes or Chelsea boots, whatever they are, work really well together. The black, just simple. And then I can't tell the style of his hat, but it looks good. And then his bag,
I think it might be like a do-rag though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it not brimmed?
Is it not brimmed? I don't think
saw
it's
a brim, but
I think I see a brim.
Okay.
I think
there's okay. Yeah, I see it now.
It's kind of like a paint, like a.
It looks like almost like a.
It almost looked twisted up. Kind of hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a cool, chill outfit. The leather on the bomber takes it to another level.
Yeah.
Like, if it was just a regular poly or quilted bomber, it wouldn't be as cool.
Yeah, I love the jacket. I like a lot of what he has on. I just don't like it together.
Okay.
I think it's just you've got some contrasting style here, especially with like the jeans in particular. Like, we've got cuffed jeans, kind of like a dress shirt. But I think it's just the jeans, and then you're choosing the more casual side of things with the jacket plus the hat. Like, it is a nice quality jacket, but that's not something I'd wear with dress clothing. So for me, there's just a little bit of a style clash, which I think might be the intention here. But
yeah.
Yeah, that's just what I'm seeing. But I actually do like, because the clothes fit well, they fit him well. They're good looking clothing. Like, I really do like that orange jacket. I think that is a good choice. But it's just the combo here. Like, it's just the right stuff, but with the wrong clothes.
I want the jacket. Kind of looks like little basketball leather, even.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, definitely has that vibe. Very like 80s style.
What are your
jacket.
thoughts on the purses, though?
I would call that a bag.
That one is a bag.
That one looks more of like a duffel or almost suitcase.
Okay.
It's pretty small.
I'm not a fan of like the purse.
Thank you.
But like the bag, the duffel.
Thank you.
All good. It just looks better in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I got you. I got you there. But I'm also like, I don't think you need a purse on the way to the game. Personally.
And some bags can be shaped like a purse.
True.
So it's this like weird blur, like middle, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See, that's what I thought. Let's go to a fan of the show, big fan of the show, Jay Will.
Oh my gosh.
Now this,
I want to see an up close of this. Like, what's going on with the? What is he wearing on his shoes?
the shoes are like a white running shoe.
I don't even think we would be able to see, even with the zoom.
I looked through a few photos of this. It's like a white running shoe. It looks like the jean
like
was
an ASIC.
Yeah,
almost?
like an ASIC running shoe. That's why they're flipped up at
With
the,
like a flare,
yeah, with like a flare pant.
like a buckle
Mhm.
denim from like
and then just
flare
a
from the
WB,
90s.
like a
Yeah.
Under Armour WB underneath.
Yep. And then like a long t-shirt do-rag with like a Gap mom shirt open.
He's got a lot going on with this one.
Again, like where he chose to button it, not flattering. If he would have had like 3 more buttons up, could have worked.
It could have
fine.
worked.
Kind of looks
Yeah.
like an unk right here.
Or
like,
if he had it all the way unbuttoned, could have worked.
yeah, could have done it.
It's gonna be enough for me though. I don't think it works together.
Yeah,
He didn't care. Like he maybe didn't have a stylist or he didn't try that day. Like
Right.
it's wrinkly. Yeah, he didn't care that day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't care that.
see, that's how we feel sometimes. We're just like, are these just clothes that were out? And he's just like, yep.
yeah,
like,
we've
that's-
said
I'm
that.
just
Like,
wearing it.
I'm
Wore
just gonna
that
put
out
this
last
together.
night, gonna
like,
throw that
whatever.
back on
These
real
are clothes in my
quick.
room, and I'm putting them on. Like, there's
Who
not.
knows,
This
man?
doesn't seem like there's much intention behind a fit like this. This looks
Yeah.
more like these are one of those fits where I feel like he'd have to tell me how much it costs for me to like it. He's like, well, yeah, this shirt's supposed to be wrinkled. It's a blah blah blah, and
Right.
it's $10,000 or
Right.
something. And it's like that's what this kind of fit is giving me. And I definitely agree with the button thing because
Yeah.
it almost gives him like a beer belly appearance, which he definitely doesn't have.
Right,
No.
right.
He may have 3% body fat, so
Not
like
flattering.
yeah, so weird there. And then just with the do-rag and the chain, he definitely gives me like uncle vibes.
It almost
Yeah.
doesn't look like a do-rag. It looks like one of those caps. It looks like a Prada cap. Do you see the triangle on the top?
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like
Oh.
one of those super tight Prada like beanies.
Yeah.
Well, almost like,
Like-
what is that in the back? Is that his collar? Like right around
That's
his
the
neckline?
collar of the
That's
blue
Oh, okay.
Gap
Looks like-
shirt for the moms.
Interesting. Yeah. I
See?
could definitely find you one of those at Old Navy.
Yeah,
Right
I mean,
now,
right
today.
now.
I do
think
like
you
the
could.
pop of
We could
white.
get this whole fit at Old Navy.
I think you could.
I think he also has a white trim on the side of his jeans.
that
does.
which
that
I like.
was about to talk about because it looks like he took a normal pair of jeans and then had them like enlarged with this white
Widened
stripe
out.
to make them baggier. It's like, hey, I have this normal pair of jeans. Can you like make them look ridiculous? Like,
Yeah,
it's pretty wild. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
I'll give it a 2.
It's a
Dang,
two.
a two.
Dude, it's the lowest number of the
I gotta
day.
give that. I gotta give it a 1.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys.
because it's like you even pointed out, it's like wrinkled and
Yeah,
then
not
the bag.
put
He's doing
together
a
well.
lot with the bag.
He was in a hurry. He was in a hurry that day.
he was in a hurry. He was also just left his mom's and grandma's house because he took their clothes.
Yeah, at 6'8", tall family.
Now here we're gonna go with some Nuggets guys. So the next 2 are Nuggets guys.
Okay.
All
These
right.
are our guys. We support them, and I really like this next one.
Nuggets have good fits. Nuggets
guys
are
tell me
actually a
what you think.
well-fitted team.
Okay.
I think so. There's
Completely
they
unbiased.
don't miss, and I like that Bruce Brown comes with the cowboy stuff every now and then. We'll get
It's
to that.
personal style, but he
We'll get
does
to
it
that this
right.
year.
He does the style correctly. And I think
Yes.
that's the biggest thing that we're seeing with some of these other guys is like they just are throwing styles together
Yeah.
and it looks just confusing for a lot of these.
Exactly.
But like, look at this.
So look at this.
Watson, like that is a sick outfit. That my only complaint is it looks like a set, but that's not a big deal. Like I think sets are supposed to go together. you
I
know?
think they're supposed to go together.
And I like the contrast with his glasses coming in with that really nice dark black. He's got a little bit of chain on there. I
He looks
can't see.
fresh.
Yeah, I can't see the shoes from here.
I
It
don't
looks
know the
like the
brand.
shoes aren't quite what I'd go for. I would have probably gone for another dark color, like the whole shoe be a dark color to
Right.
really help the white pop.
But
and,
those
like,
foam posits are nice.
are those foams?
Those are foam posits.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are those new cream
I don't
foam
know.
posits that just came out. So
Definitely,
I got
probably
a
the
pair of
best
red
one of the
ones that
day
are
so
going to be
far
on the
for
show.
me.
But I
Okay.
like this fit
Yeah.
a lot.
Okay.
I also like the lighting behind his hair. It makes it look
I
like
know.
this.
Yeah,
It
it's
looks
a good
like he's
shot.
in a photo shoot.
It's a really
Yeah.
good shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good shot.
More flattering than the other few.
That's true.
This
I
is
think
more
it's
like
like
intentional.
another simple,
Yeah.
cool, like good quality pair of sweats, and like a cool long sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, let me just be honest because I can be honest.
That's
on
what
here.
we want.
Yeah.
Okay, so Peyton, I think, has really great potential to have really great style. I think right now his style's at a 5, like just in general, not this particular fit, just in general.
Okay.
and I want to take it to a 10.
P-Watt.
I think he has the potential to be like Shea. You know what I mean? When it comes to style, because he's really great on the court,
right?
And he could kill it on the runway. He has the perfect like body. When they call, like there is a real particular type in fashion that fabric is just looks better on, and he has one of those great bodies as far as like length, proportions, all those things. And so Peyton has the potential to be a 10, 11, 12.
Okay.
Limitless.
I think this is a really comfortable approach here.
Yeah.
This is a very Colorado comfortable approach.
And we had him in a sweatsuit, I think last week.
Yeah.
He had this blue velour Chrome Hearts sweatsuit that looked really good. He had some Jordan 11s on. It looked really good.
Yeah.
But you're right. It is comfortable. It's a very comfortable look to him.
Comfortable and name brands. Like he could also just kill it where you don't even need to know the name brands, because the outfit's such a star centerpiece. It's like, wait, I don't even care what you're wearing. The way it's put together is crazy.
Yeah. And
I think that's the impression you want brands to have, is just like, I don't care where this came from. I want this type of outfit, or I want that outfit. And I think that's should be the goal for most of these brands out here, is to create that desirability. And especially when you have somebody like you're saying, Peyton Watson, who's got the right frame, the right look.
Yeah.
It really helps hammer that overall look home for these brands. So yeah, I think this is clean. Like this is a really great way for a designer to like showcase their work, because you can really get a full encompassing view. And obviously the photographer did a great job here too.
Yes.
John's giving us a thumbs up as well, saying he likes this one.
John likes this one.
It's just a great way to showcase the camera, the whole thing, start to finish. This is a good fit. Good job.
Great fit. Number one of the day so far.
But call Sam. You need to call Sam.
Hey,
that's 5 more points.
Give her a call. Work together. I think it'd be a great duo.
Yeah, it's
Shout out. And here we go.
Okay.
Last one.
AG.
Now, see, it's still a comfy look. And right, maybe the Nuggets are like comfy style.
Sometimes.
Maybe that's why they play so well.
Sometimes.
Maybe that's why they play so well. I don't know.
That's part of it.
That could be part of it.
I guess it could be comfort or safe. I would be so curious I want to talk to them and ask them, like, is it just a safe, to have the all one color look set? Because he could have done a pattern on top and bottom, and that would have took this look to a 10. I think it's a cool 5, but the color isn't my favorite.
Okay.
It's a good color on his skin tone. It's not horrible. I think he could have went with a more darker shade, but it's not a bad.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Safe though.
It's safe, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely safe.
Yeah.
But I like it more than like, if you're gonna do something like this, definitely looks better than like what we saw from Jay Will, where he's trying to go casual, but like clearly a little bit of fashion.
True.
And it's just not hammering home. Whereas
he's got
AG looks good, and he took your notes. Yeah, like nice and open, broke out that color.
Yeah.
And
I mean, fits well. Everything's fit.
Everything fits his frame really well. It can be a little baggy, which is fine. Like he's definitely a little baggy on the jeans, and the color all works really well together. Like a color like that, especially that lighted blue, is going to be really hard to color match. So he did a good job. I'm sure it's the same brand, but they just did a really good job of ensuring that coordination between those two things. And he kept it even with the shoes. Sometimes the shoes can get away from these guys. I would like to see
a brighter shoe.
Yeah, the shoes are kind of boring.
I think it could be the shadow, but definitely it looks like just a pretty plain white shoe. I'd be interested
or
in
like gray, maybe.
I think he's been wearing those like Pumas lately.
It looks like a Puma frame.
Yeah, he's been wearing those kind of like soccer Pumas lately.
He's a 361 guy, so I'm kind of shocked.
Yeah,
361 does a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, it could be 361 stuff. Yeah, that I just haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't recognize him off the bat either.
So I've been talking to my friend JB, and he's a retired basketball player. You know JB Witro. So it's really interesting. A lot of these tall basketball players they have a really hard time to find outfits that fit them.
This is true.
So not only myself,
so I understand.
Yeah. So there's so many additional layers to like the challenges of their styles. Sweatpants probably just happen to fall really good and fit decently on the waist.
I see.
But I was talking to JB. I was trying to help him with that issue that he has. He can't find a lot of pants that, are denim that fit.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting, the battles they go through. And so the materials they choose are very probably intentional for that reason.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, actually. I didn't even think about that.
And
that
AG's lucky, too, because he's such a higher profile player that I'm sure brands are much more enticed to cater clothing for him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
custom.
shocked if he had several brands that he works with on a regular
Yeah.
basis. Just somebody as fashion conscious as Aaron Gordon, you know.
Aaron also styles himself.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I really like his his whole fashion style is really good because he's very diverse. He can do a very classy, like on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Oh my
Suit,
gosh,
yeah.
I would
That
wear
suit?
that suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was an awesome look.
And then he'll
like,
wear the glove,
yeah, it
the
just
leather glove.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Like I
and he
love
had
the
that black
detail.
turtleneck underneath. Like
Yes.
really
Yeah.
clean fit, super
Detail.
clean fit. But then he
That's
can
right.
also go and rock this. I agree with you, Sam, to a certain degree of like definitely a more safer kind of approach. But
Mhm.
I think it just works really well for his style. And I think
Yeah.
I'm kind of similar in that aspect. I probably have just a little more color, but I definitely prefer like 2 to 4 different tones of color rather than 5 plus. You
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
I do really personally enjoy the simpler fits usually.
Yeah.
Because it's more of like a personal statement, you know.
Yeah.
It's like the person wearing it, you know, kind of thing. I
It
don't know.
is. No, I got you. I think you make a lot of sense, and I think that I agree 100%. It reflects him, and it looks good on him,
Mhm.
and you could tell that anything that he wears, it's like he's very conscious of like, okay, I'm going maybe more of a calm down look today,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna step it up and really step out tonight, right? And I like that about him.
Mhm.
He's got that versatility.
Yeah, and props to him because he doesn't ever come. Well, I haven't seen a look yet where he's like, he looks like he rolled out of bed or where it's not intentional.
Yeah.
I think he's very put together. He
It
does
Yeah,
takes
a
a
good-
lot
He does a
for
great
them.
job.
They've got a crazy schedule, and so for these guys to like also spend time thinking about what they're going to wear and having to split their focus, it's just impressive that guys like AG can come out, ball out, and then also take care of himself off the court.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's huge, you know. Let's see if I can pull this up. So before that was supposed to be our last look, but I wanted to pull this Shea one up
Okay.
because we talked about it last week.
Okay.
Oh, this
Okay,
one.
okay.
We all had our opinions.
This
and
is a good
we'll
one
have
for
to-
Sam.
and We'll have to edit
Yeah.
it, but give us your thoughts on this,
Yeah,
Sam. Before
break
we
it down,
move
Sam.
on to the mine shaft, I
Okay.
want to hear.
All right, cool. Because like I could see myself in a look like this. So I'll just give you my thought process. He is probably like, you know, he at this point in his career, he's a fashion icon. So very much like Tyler the Creator, ASAP Rocky, he could put on anything and it works. That's the logical, in my mind, thought process. So the green socks with the red laces, that's the first thing I see, and I'm like, not my first choice, but I get it. Like he probably just had those green socks and he's like, I could do whatever. I'm Shea, you know, fashion icon. I do love, because you know I'm a pattern on pattern girl.
Okay.
I do love the top and the bottom together.
Okay,
I would
interesting.
definitely wear that. I would absolutely wear that. And see, even the detail of where, these are the things I look at. Do you see where he zips up his
Yeah.
hoodie to?
Yeah.
Just
And
his
then the-
chain.
Yes, and then the placement of the chain, like those are things I look about, and he just is always so on point with the detail.
Yeah.
Even the
Okay.
buckle.
Yeah.
Definitely
The buckle,
intentional.
yeah, it pops out a little bit. You
Yeah.
got a flare of
Yeah.
it.
He tucked
The
it.
only thing I
Photographer
can't
doing
fully
good work here,
understand
too.
is the socks and the red laces and the shoe choice, but like
Yeah.
I still kind of get it.
That part is rough for me.
If those weren't there, this could actually have
maybe
been
in
a
a
halfway.
he
decent
could have
fit.
even maybe worn a flip flop.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just the socks and the shoes.
It's like he's about to go hiking.
When it's
but-
so bright,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
what John
it's
said.
the
He
first
said
thing my
hiking.
eyes drawn to is the shoes.
yeah.
It's like
It really
it's just
takes you out of
stands
it.
out.
It
Yeah.
takes you out of it.
And I think I agree with you, Sam, when you're saying like he can just wear what he wants, because that's 100% what this feels like.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
exactly
I
what it
have
feels
these
like.
clothes and I know how to wear them. They don't
Mhm.
go together, but I'm gonna wear them
Mhm.
anyway. That's kind of the vibe I got from this whole fit.
Yeah.
It's like when you know the rules, then you can break them, right?
Right.
Right.
It's like how to break them
Yeah, how to
correctly.
break them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems like he knows how to break them.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting too with you having like such more of like a fashion forward mindset coming in, because we had negative connotations with the outfit. I think we all agreed on the shoes, but just kind of the other stuff. So it's nice to hear kind of more your side of things, because clearly the fashion community's responded well to Shea. Like
Yeah.
whether we like him or not,
Yeah, and he's got
people
style.
in the
He's
industry
got
really
style.
like him.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
clearly he does things the correct way. So I love being able to hear kind of how you break that down, because that does make more sense and it does make me like it a little bit more.
And it
But-
makes you look at it in a different angle.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's still never wear this.
Yeah. I agree. I wouldn't
Maybe
wear
the
those.
pants, not capri pants. I'm not a big fan of the
Yeah, not a
capris.
big fan of the where the
Like where
ending.
they end.
Like we don't
Yeah.
need
Right?
like
Yeah.
6
Yeah.
inches of your skinny ankle there, bud.
I'd even go with the short, maybe.
It's
in
like the
same frame.
Jankos we were talking about back in
Yes.
the 90s. Those are coming back. I just saw them on a kid yesterday and I was like thinking of you in our
Like,
conversation
rad.
because I was like, wow, here they are. it is just, fashion and that time again.
Yeah. That's how it goes, right?
is.
Yeah,
Fashion
the
circulates and
cycle.
combines and
Yeah.
then creates a new thing. And yeah, it's
What I
interesting to
love is
watch.
people like him can experiment freely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like again, this look, I give him props because he's just being himself.
Yeah, you can
And
tell
so I
he's
mentioned
rocking it.
rules to fashion. I want to clarify. There are no rules in fashion. I think there's 2 rules in fashion. Well, you're doing it right if you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't feel good, you're doing it wrong. There's
Right.
the
Yeah.
only rules in fashion.
That's a good point, and it's true. But I do agree though with how you presented it, because you did break it down really well, and like the things you were noticing, I think are kind of universal, like eye-catching things. Like had it been zipped differently, whether or not you're conscious of noticing it, now it takes it out of it for the average person looking at it or an expert looking at it. So I think like
True.
noticing those little details really does make the difference between, are you just wearing clothes or are you wearing them intentionally
Yeah.
to like create a certain effect or emotion out of your people.
Who's the
Right.
guy on the second one, the Gap guy?
Oh, that was his teammate, actually, Jalen Williams.
So yeah, that's a perfect example of your clothing wearing you. And then what we just saw is him wearing his clothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. The clothes are wearing you, and you're getting lost in them too.
Yes.
You've gotten lost in the clothes.
Yeah.
Because we're busy laughing at all of it. We're just like so
we don't
distracted.
like that look. We all didn't like that look.
We don't even care who's wearing it anymore. It's like whoever it is. Like, bro, come on.
Don't care if it's a
Yeah.
$1,000 shirt or if it's from Gap. Don't like it.
Yeah, and that's where we go back to like it's not about how much you spend on an outfit. It's about the way you wear it, put it together, put your effort and time and care, class, like spend that time on ironing that piece. Like it's not about, fashion isn't about superficialness. It's about how you show up in the world and like coming your hardest every day, come 110% every day through your actions, your words, but also your fits.
Yeah, let's go.
Because that says it without saying it,
Yep.
right?
That says it without saying it.
Yeah, it's like
that.
almost people's first impression of you.
It absolutely is.
Because
and
that's like
it's
before
2
they even hear
now.
you talk. Yeah.
It used to be 7. Now you get 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Make that
lucky.
fit good.
Yeah. It's tough.
It is tough.
And people are ruthless.
Yeah.
No matter what
we got
they
people
like
like
to wear,
you, so
they will always
that's
still
good
have-
that we got people like her
Yeah.
on our side to
Yes.
keep us in check too.
Right.
And help us out.
But I also like, because it's like I take
Anytime.
away some of the things you were saying, but then I'll still kind of have my own taste. And I think that's
Yeah.
another part of what fashion's really cool about. It's like no one's ever right.
No.
It's not like basketball where we pull up analytics and we're like, well, that's what happened. And in this situation, it's totally different. So it's just such a unique area that basketball's expanded into, and just excited for it. And I love that the Nuggets are rocking it.
Yeah,
it's been really cool to watch them.
It has been,
because they do a really good job just all around.
They do.
Not doing too much, but also just doing just enough, being very intentional, kind of like what you're saying, Sam, but with their own styles.
Yeah.
I mean, from Jokic to Zeke Naji to Peyton Watson to Aaron Gordon, like these guys are all, even Christian Brown has a very distinctive style.
True.
But it fits his personality.
Yeah.
So I just really appreciate that the Nuggets are our team and that these are the guys that we can support.
Those are the guys we get to support.
Sometimes, I don't know, if Russell Westbrook's coming in with like a construction worker's hat and like clothes, I don't know. I don't think I got your back there, buddy.
Yeah, I don't think you would.
But shout out to him too, because he keeps it exciting.
Definitely
he brings
does.
that LA taste, that you never know what you're gonna get, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
He might be in a purple sweater,
right?
Like
you have no idea what you're gonna see.
Yeah, he's good at expressing himself.
Yeah, he brings chaos to every aspect of his life.
He does.
Yeah,
he
that's
does.
just Westbrook, through and through. On the court, off the court, dude's just like, I'm doing me and whatever, like whatever that is today.
Exactly,
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it. But speaking of chaos, should we talk a little bit about this basketball team?
Sure, talk
the
to me.
Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets,
because this team is just so gritty. And as we're going into the mine shaft here, which is our Nugget segment, the mine shaft, I have to talk about the grittiness of the Nuggets this year, because without a doubt, there have been at least 4 or 5 games in the last 3 weeks that I'm like, I don't know if we're going to win this game, or we could drop this one. And they've come out with a win down the wire at the very end, somehow pulled it out. What do you guys think about this team right now?
Yeah, I mean, they're just on a really, really great run, and I think it speaks a lot to coaching. I think it speaks a lot to how the players interact with each other, their relationship with each other. We're just seeing a really unique instance in a basketball team that we're starting to see more and more. I think a Pacers comes to mind, like last season in the playoffs. Just a
Mm-hmm.
really tough, gritty team that's full of guys who are ready to step up when it's their name called. Because that was a team that was successful because various games new people would be coming in and
Right.
producing well, and then they'd win because of that person, and then the next game. And so I felt that a lot with this Nuggets team, even though it's been more localized to Peyton Watson's success, Jamal Murray's continued success, and then just everyone else rallying around them. Zeke Naji, a name I never thought I'd be saying in a positive light this season, but he's done a really good job of just filling that void, just coming in, producing well, being productive in the minutes he's given, doing what he can on the court, looking like he belongs there, which
Right.
I think has been one of our bigger concerns, just not seeing how he fits into the puzzle. But now they're looking so cohesive. I think there are still things to improve on, but given the context of Jokic being out, longest stretch of his career, it's been amazing to watch. It's just been really fun basketball.
Absolutely. And I have some stats here for you guys. But right now, Denver Nuggets are 13-6 first teams with a over 50% record right now.
Wow.
Right? That's the most wins in the NBA versus winning teams.
Wow.
Despite missing 4 starters and rotation players throughout the season, they're still 26-13. So think about that right now. Being able to hold on this early on in the season without your star players, without your starters, without your normal rotation that's going to have to go deep into the year. Right now, essentially, we're not giving up games. We're just giving them rest for the playoff run. And that's going to be really, really exciting and really important for these players in the second tier of our team to get this much run and to get this much action at this point in the season and continue to win, find those gritty ways to win, because we're going to see that show up later on in the season when it's a 5-point game and you're down with 2 minutes to go. No one's going to blink. No one's going to be scared. Everyone knows that they can go out, and there's 4 people on the court that are going to be able to make a shot. There's 4 people that are going to go out and be able to get a shot for you or get a bucket or get a rebound. And that's really big going into the end of the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think in particular with this team, like you're saying, is everyone's feeling that level of confidence that's really crucial in winning basketball, because you can have a close game, but who's going to win? It's not about how many points you win by, it's about winning the game. And we're seeing that from these guys who are being called upon to step up to that next level. And I think that's really unique in a winning culture basketball. It speaks to the locker room, speaks to the coaching, like I mentioned earlier. And that's just such a special thing. And it's happening at the perfect time as well, because it's just before All-Star break, which is universally kind of when things really ramp up for the NBA. After All-Star, it's all business from there.
Right.
And so that's when you're less afforded airs. Everything matters. Every game counts. It always does, but that's when it really does for the NBA players and their teams. And that's when divisions start happening, when we see a clear 1 through 3 seed, a clear 3 through 6 seed, clear 6 through 8 seed. So things are going to start shifting in that direction. And it's really impressive the Nuggets been able to maintain just that winning ability, just showing they can get it done. And what's going to be really special is when the starters do come back, there's just all these new dynamics, new rotations, new players. Just everyone has this new level of confidence that they can play with at a new level. And so I'm just so excited to see how things are going to mesh. I think that sometimes that would scare me a little bit, messing with the flow and the chemistry that they've now created. Obviously, it's more advantageous to have Jokic on the floor, but some of these other guys, is that going to disrupt things? But I think they're in a really good space where they all appreciate each other and work together so well that is only going to improve the team as a whole. And we're just going to see a whole new monster of a beast when the full starters come back.
Yeah, you're starting to see just this gelling as a team in whole. And you know what? I think I was talking about this earlier. It's really cool to see the coaching and Adelman be able to keep this team together and go forward in the midst of this kind of injury storm that they've been having. That might even put him in the running, I think, right now for Coach of the Year, because of everything that this team's gone through. You lose was the current MVP of the league, right? You lose your starting 3 starters. You go out and you're still in the top 3 in the league in the West, which is, I think, the hardest conference. This is a coaching masterclass right now, and letting this guy, Peyton Watson, just bloom and letting him come into his own and take over that role that we know that we need, right? We thought we'd probably get it from a Cam Johnson or a Hardaway or Bruce Brown. We thought that we'd start seeing those 20-point games. I don't know if anyone thought Peyton Watson was going to take this jump and score 30-point games and lead the team some nights and be second leading scorer on the team other nights. I don't think anyone saw it. I think that there were a couple of people who, maybe had an idea, and obviously being in the room, we saw Michael Porter Jr. at the game last night, and he was talking about how he practiced against Peyton Watson, and he saw this coming and saw that what he could do. But I don't know if outside the building people really thought that, and so I think that's really exciting to get that part of it. But you really have to say, David Adelman, tip my hat, because this has been a fantastic coaching job that you've done. You've clearly been the right choice for this team in the right moment, and you've really guided them along this stretch. And I just got to tip my hat to you because it's been absolutely fantastic to watch.
Adelman for Coach of the Year.
Adelman for Coach of the Year. We're starting it here on the show. Adelman for Coach of the Year. You heard it here first. We love what we're seeing. But I will say, as a Denver native, and you've been, obviously you've been here for a while. What has, your excitement been around seeing this Nuggets team be so good over the last few years, probably comparatively to when you were growing up?
Yeah, I think it's been cool to watch, the phases of the Nuggets. There was a Carmelo phase. There was a Ty Lawson phase. There was a AI phase. It's been cool. Denver's a great place for basketball. I also grew up playing ball right before fashion.
Okay.
I let go of ball to be a fashion designer. But no, it's really exciting. Watching the Nuggets in the last even 3 years has been really cool to watch, the transformation. And like you said, the way that they play together. Team is everything. And knowing how to work with each other's strengths and weaknesses is everything. And it's been really cool to see them do their thing and like each other. I think that's really important.
Yeah, no, it is really important. And I think, maybe we didn't have the full story at the end of last year, what was going on inside. I know some people knew stuff between obviously the GM and the head coach, but maybe we didn't know everything that was going on, because it seems like this team does have a sense of community and does have a bond that is, really propelling them to having a really special year.
Yeah, I mean, I can elaborate on that a little bit. I mean, it really was issues that were spilling over into the locker room. Calvin Booth, Michael Malone just not being on the same page. That's truly what it was centered around. And then that was bleeding into other aspects of things. Certain players not getting playing time because of their affiliation with one person or the other, and Malone not wanting to cohesively work with Calvin Booth. I'm not the biggest Calvin Booth fan personally, but it was just too much childish behavior. When you're at a professional level, you have to handle yourself like a professional. And whether or not Mike Malone was obviously a great coach, I think isn't the question. I think it was just more of how he was handling controversy within the organization. And it just wasn't being handled correctly. Kroenke even openly admitted, hey, we could have done a better job of being on top of this. But overall, it's just a tough situation to be in. And I think everybody was wrong, and clearly the right decision was made. I was very skeptical at the time of was this the correct call? Very suddenly, heading right into playoffs basically was when it happened. I mean, super suddenly, probably the latest in a season anyone's ever been fired, I think was what the stat was. And so that was a little okay, I guess this season's over. That's kind of what this says to me. But they fought really hard in the playoffs, took the eventual champs to a 7-game series, the only people in the West to do that outside of the Pacers in the East. So just really impressive what they were able to do. Adelman's really shown his coaching prowess. I think it's been a little up and down for some fans, but me personally, I've enjoyed what he's done. I think he's just been working out kind of what works, what doesn't. A new coach, just learning his new team, so to speak. Even though he's been involved, it's different when you're in the driver's seat. So it's just been impressive how they are approaching controversy now. We reached kind of one of the hardest challenges that any coach in the Jokic era has had to face, and that's Jokic sitting out for a very long, extended period of time. And I think we realistically only saw a couple games where the Nuggets truly struggled. And now they're just back to being a competitive team. They can beat anybody on any given night. And that's what you want out of a team full of backups. So it's been really fun to watch. And the rise of Peyton Watson's been nothing short of amazing. You know, I've been a big Peyton Watson fan, but even with the support I had, never envisioned him winning player of the week. Didn't really see him at a 25 point per game ability. I'd heard that as a discussion topic, but I never really truly felt he'd be at that level. So to see him do that now for 6-7 games in a row, it's been amazing. Love seeing it.
It has been amazing. While keeping, you know, their league scoring, I believe they're shooting 50% from the field right now, which is the best in the league, scoring 122 points a game, which is best in the league. You really got to like just give it up to what the back end, the front office has done, and the coaching staff has done with this team. Bringing in guys like Tim Hardaway, who is right now, I believe, a legitimate call for 6th man of the year.
Let's talk about Tim.
Because, I mean, look, he's averaging 13 points per game on elite shooting, right? 46.5 field goal percentage, 41% from 3-point percentage. And he's doing it on one of the best contracts in the league, right? We're not paying him a ton of money where it took away from our talent. That right there shows that the front office and the coaching staff had the right idea for what this team wanted to be and become. And I really thought, you know, Cam Johnson would probably be that 6th man or that starter, that guy that came off and was like, hey, he's our big acquisition of the year. And I still think he will be. But getting injured and taking out a lot of your season, you know, that'll hurt your chances of getting any awards, as we know. But Tim Hardaway, I think, has really been someone that we can rely on to go ahead, get clutch shots, take big shots on fast breaks. He's had a lot of those momentum shots I've noticed this year too, right? The ones where you get a steal and it pops around and then it somehow ends up in Tim's hand. Boom, he hits the 3 right before the end of a quarter. Crowd's up into it. Everyone's back up into it now. The momentum's back on our side. And those are the kind of guys that you want on this kind of team, where when you get Jokic back, right, he's going to be your anchor. He's going to be your stabilizer. You're going to have Jamal that's going to make plays and going to make things happen. Now we have Peyton Watson, who can now make things and make plays happen. Christian Brown's a guy who's going to be gritty. AG is going to be just anything you need him to be that night. And now you got a guy like Tim Hardaway who can come in and change the momentum of the game with 2 or 3 shots. And that's really important, and that's really exciting. But I think that puts him in the talk at least for 6th man of the year right now.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. I mean, Tim Hardaway has been my favorite acquisition of this offseason by far. He's just come in right out of the gate, been productive since the very start of the season. And some of these other guys, you know, are just kind of to get their feet under them. I think Bruce Brown's starting to get more comfortable. Valanciunas was getting more comfortable. You know, Cam Johnson's still kind of figuring it out. But overall, Tim has outplayed all of them as far as I'm concerned. And just being available, being good. And he's just, it's so funny to watch a player like Tim because he has this like ultimate I'm never guarded green light type shot where he gets the ball and it's get it out of my hands right away. It's like hot potato. I need to shoot it. I have to shoot it right now. But I haven't disliked him for it because we've seen guys like Will Barton come through with that exact problem.
Yeah.
Who made me really dislike him. But Tim he's delivered, man.
Yeah.
He gets the ball in your hands and it's like, dude, shoot it. Like, it's like I want him to shoot it now. And so I think he's more than deserving a 6th man of the year. Frankly, just coming on the subject, I can't even think of anybody else who would be eligible for the award outside of Tim Hardaway that I've tracked this season. It's really been a starter focused year for most of the NBA because
I really have liked Edgecombe. You know, I've liked Edgecombe.
He's a starter, I think.
But is he starting now?
I believe so.
Okay, I remember he was coming off the bench.
That was early, yeah. And then he took over fast.
Okay.
Before Embiid got back in the lineup.
Okay, that's what it was.
It's like him and Maxey is a duo.
That's what it was. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to make a case against Tim Hardaway at this point in the season. He's really shown he's here for this team, like bringing in multiple games of 20 points or more, which is incredibly impressive for a guy who you're on a vet contract, like a minimum contract. So just huge shout out to Tim Hardaway Jr. Really big fan of what he's done this season. Just meshed well. All these guys have meshed so well in the locker room. And so just special. It just feels special.
It does.
You just get that energy from everybody. You can just feel that this is a really unique year for the Nuggets.
I 100% agree. It feels very special. Almost feels like the last time they won,
Mhm.
and that was the first time. How did it feel when you guys won that one that year? Like, how did you celebrate? Did you go to the parade?
Yeah, so I was so inspired. I actually made like a small collection using like 7 different jerseys over the last
Oh,
14 years.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
super
I didn't
small
know about
collection. It
this.
was like 15 pieces. I was really inspired and really just excited to watch as like a fan, you know, through the TV. Like
But
I
it
did go
meant a
to the
lot.
parade. Yeah. It's cool. You know, Denver really comes together for their sports, and anything that unites Denver is just really beautiful to see. So that day particular was cool to witness with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like so many people in the streets just celebrating for their city, you know.
Yeah, I mean, now you hear about it and you see them on TV every year when people win, but to be a part of one
Yeah.
and to be a member of the community, I'm sure is just huge. I remember growing up in California and going to the Kobe 3P parades, and you're just like,
Right.
holy crap. And so going to this one in Denver, when I was out here, I was just like, it felt as an adult, and you felt that sense of community. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm a Denver sports guy now.
Yeah. I hope we're headed there again.
Yeah. I hope so. It feels like this team can do it. Like
Yeah.
with all they're doing without, what can they do with, right? And one, I mean, hopefully they can still find the minutes for everyone, right? Because I don't want people to get washed away and lose some of this momentum that we've got off the bench, like with Zeke Najee, with a Spencer Jones. Those are the ones I'm like, okay, stay focused. I want to keep them in, but you're going to lose some of those minutes once we get back to our full rotation. And I understand that, and they probably understand that too. But that gives me a lot of comfort in the playoffs that we can go 8 or 9 deep and still win games and still make shots and still score 127 points a game, right? So now it's just about locking down on defense late in the season, which most people do in the playoffs, and pushing it and making a push for that championship. I think it's right there. I mean, OKC will be there. We know that San Antonio will be there. Denver's going to be there. LA is kind of flailing right now, so we'll see what happens. But Houston looks like they'll be there. It's gonna come down to it. So having that deep rotation, I think, is going to be super, super important. Super, super important.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that last year in the playoffs too, specifically with just having deep rotation teams. I think that's what separated a lot of these people. And we talked about this almost in the first episode, I think, of this season was the super teams. They just don't get it done in the traditional sense as much anymore. You really need a deep, cohesive unit team where 10 guys can play basketball, not 7. And the teams that have 10 guys who can play ball are the ones that are going to beat you, because specifically when you're looking at a bench unit, to be able to rely on 2 people to carry your bench every night is going to be very difficult, especially during the playoffs. So having 5 guys who can all potentially produce for you that evening is what's going to separate you. That was one thing that really helped the Thunder. Was it wasn't just Shea, it wasn't just Chet, it wasn't just Jalen Williams, it was their other guys. Aaron Wiggins coming off a big game or two, Alex Caruso coming in with a big game or two, Lou Dort coming in with a big game or two.
Yep.
Those are the supplements to a victory. And I think that the Nuggets possess similar depth to what we saw in the Pacers or the Thunder, who were in the finals last season. So I'm really excited because not a whole lot of teams have that this year. I think that's one thing that's really going to be tough for a lot of these teams come the end of the season is everyone healthy? Do you have a deep rotation? How far are you going to be able to go in the playoffs with that? So they're coming in a unique scenario, and I think there's a lot of contenders out there right now who are potentially moving up, but I think we should talk about the Lakers. I mean,
let's talk about the Lakers.
Let's transition into hardwood headlines here and discuss the Lakers, because they look so good at the beginning of the year. And I even beg the question, is LeBron going to disrupt the momentum of that team?
Yeah.
And it looks like that is definitely an attributing factor to a certain degree. I mean, what is going on over there right now?
Well, you don't have Austin Reeves right now. And I think that whole Austin Reeves thing is going under the radar for how good he actually is and what he does for that team, which is gives them another 2 guard who doesn't really need the ball in his hands as much, but can provide when the 2 big guys are, when LeBron and Luka are on the bench. But it doesn't seem like they and I don't know if it's, maybe they're not the most youthful team, but it seems like they have a really hard time in the third quarters. And I think third quarters in the NBA are like the biggest kind of what if for each team every night. Because if they come out and play good in the third quarter, a lot of the times we see that the team will end up winning the game. But I'm seeing a lot of times they get a lead, then they have a really good hot start, and then they come out and they don't play well in the third quarter. And I think that is really their problem right now. I think they're one of the worst third quarter teams in the league right now. And I don't know if that's a coaching. JJ doesn't get them ready at halftime or whatever it is, or maybe they're just staring. They're looking and staring too much. And I don't know. I'm curious about this too sometimes. Is there like too much mystique for some of these young players that come and play with LeBron, where like LeBron gets the ball and they just stop and they just like watch, because they're like, it's LeBron's got the ball, he's going to do something, right? I don't know if that could be the case too, and on top of like taking the momentum or the air out of the ball when he came back, but that could be part of it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I have a really particular thought on this subject, actually, because it's been bugging me. And specifically, LeBron's always a controversial topic of discussion.
It always is.
The NBA community is so divided on just his legacy, him as a person. Just seems like every aspect of LeBron's whole life. And I only care about the on-the-court stuff. That's all I care about, realistically. But one thing that really bugged me is if you look at this replay, there's a replay that came up a day or so ago, and it's LeBron not meshing well with a timeout.
Yeah,
it was a very blatant disrespect to the coach, to the organization, to his teammates. To paint the picture for everybody here, they were in a timeout huddle. All the players are engaged with the coaching staff. They're all trying to figure things out. And I'm not exactly sure what happened, but LeBron is at the end of the bench. His arms are crossed. I mean, it's mimicking that behavior of a child. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean to put anybody down in particular, but that's just not the behavior of a leader to me. Like it's very hard to rally behind somebody, no matter how good they are, if that's going to be kind of the approach that you take and the respect that you give to not only the coaching staff, but your fellow teammates. It was just so out of left field for me. And that's kind of been some things that we've seen with LeBron throughout his career. And then you combine that almost completely in contrast with how we look at Jokic on the bench. And he's injured, but he's involved. He's coaching his teammates. I mean, he is so passionate about ensuring that they're doing well, the success of the Nuggets. And so you look at two different types of leaders, two different legendary players of the game, and you see how they approach things. And I think that is something that's going to affect LeBron's legacy, is you just don't see the greatest of the greats do that kind of thing. And Sam, I know you're a big Jordan fan just throughout your career. So what is that something that you would say was indicative of like Michael Jordan? Like what kind of leadership did he bring to the game from your perspective?
Yeah, when you put it on that scale of Jokic and LeBron, I feel Michael fell right in between the middle, like right in the middle, right? Mm-hmm. Like I think the difference between those two players is ego. And, no shade, because I'm not a hater at all. But I've never been a big LeBron fan. Like, I've just never, ever understood the hype. I get, like, he's great. Never thought he was as great as Michael Jordan. But he is great. All the love. I don't like the attitude. I don't like the ego. Like, I can see it. And I do think that will affect his legacy. Michael Jordan, I think, was able to maintain he was great. And he knew he could be, a child on the court, but he chose not to. And there may be certain time, I was a kid, but I was a kid, so literally I don't remember all the scenarios, but I'm sure there was times and moments. But I think you hit it right on the head. It's like you don't do that as a leader. That's childlike behavior.
Yeah. And well, Jordan specifically, I think a lot of like the reaction and the outbursts we would see when it came to the court was more from a passion perspective. He really was passionate about winning and wanting to win so badly that would be what caused that. And I just don't feel that passion from LeBron. Obviously, I'm on the same page with you. An all-time great of the game, one of the best to do it.
Yep.
Great basketball player, but it's those types of little things that I think really define true greatness and what gives you that long-lasting image. Because once LeBron retires, all we're going to have is things like this to look back on, and it'll fade and fade as people kind of forget how he was as a player. And eventually it's going to get to the point where we're seeing these types of replays and people are just going to be questioning him all throughout, because that's what we're seeing with Jordan right now.
Yeah.
All these analytics diving into every little aspect of, oh, this game, that game,
that makes me fucking lose.
That's what's going to happen with
LeBron. You got JJ Redick.
We got it
trying
right
to talk
here.
to the team,
We got it
right?
right here.
Where is LeBron? Anybody see LeBron?
Yeah, look at this.
He's
we got the
over
whole
there
huddle here.
pouting like
And
a
then he's
little
on the very
bitch.
end, literally not looking at the team, shoulders or arms crossed. Just,
even in a blowout, even if you're upset with your team as a leader, as a like a legend in the game, you got to be
Come on.
you got to be in the huddle. I don't care if you're upset, if you were getting blown out. I think that's what was going on. He was upset at how the team was playing, and you're getting blown out. I don't care though. You got to go be with your team.
Yeah,
and you know that they're putting in your G League guys, your bench guys. Heck, your son's on the team. Your son is on the team. Like, what kind of example are you showing for him when it's like, okay, things aren't going my way.
Yep.
I'm pissed about this game. Yeah, I'm 41, but shoot, like, still go in there, be with your team, stick it out. You're gonna lose either way. Don't lose your teammates in the process.
Back in my day, they called that bad sportsmanship.
That's what they call. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
that still
true.
is
what
the
I'm
precedent.
saying?
Yeah. No,
but it's changed. Right. Everything's gotten so player favored, and the fans only care about LeBron's feelings and maybe not the full scope of the situation. And again, it just comes down to, it's just not how you approach things.
Yeah.
That's something that's handled in the locker room, in private. You want to go crazy in the locker room, yell at JJ Redick and get into an argument. If it's in private, maybe, like, I think, again, there still needs to be a level of respect between professionals, because that's what they are, is professional athletes, and they need to approach it that way. And I think that more and more we're seeing certain people get away from that. But I also feel at the same side, there's been a good resurgence of that type of approach, like with Wembanyama, not so much Anthony Edwards, but even Shea, they are very buttoned up. They do kind of keep themselves calm, and they approach the game their way without having to do these publicity stunts. Because why else is he sitting at the end of the bench like that? He wants it to be a visual spectacle for everyone to absorb and see his frustration. They want to see how he doesn't approve of what's going on. And it's like, we don't need to. You're playing basketball.
You're a basketball player. You're not an actor. You're a basketball player, man. That's strange.
Yeah, that is strange. And it doesn't help them at the end of this year, and we'll see as they're going into the All-Star break where they end up at. I think they're 5th right now. I think they've been 4 and 6 in the last couple games, so not great. But it's a weird time of year in the NBA season where
certainly weird.
Wins can become losses can become wins, as they say on Red Zone. And depending on how you play and build a camaraderie with your team is gonna pay dividends later on in the year. And so you don't like to see that, especially from an all-time great. You don't really like to see that. And it's might not bode well for them. What do you think? I mean, how do you think the top 5 are going to be at the end of the year? Who's your top 5 right now?
Yeah, it's a really good question to ask, and I think it kind of changes pretty rapidly. I think the Timberwolves have really figured things out. They were really struggling there kind of towards beginning of the year. So I think that they're likely going to be in that 4 or 5 seed area. The other kind of dark horse candidate that isn't necessarily a dark horse so much anymore is the Phoenix Suns. I think a team that no one really expected much out of this season. They just surpassed the Rockets in the rankings. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So they are now 6th in the West. So another team to look out for. It's a team kind of in that similar situation, a very camaraderie. No one's expecting them to do anything, so they have nothing to lose situation, which can be very scary for teams when they get that confidence. And it's like, okay, if we lose, we lose.
Yeah.
You guys thought we were going to lose anyway. So who cares? We want to win every game. So that's a really unique situation for them to be in. And I believe
I said that last week. I think I said the Suns are my sneaky team.
Yeah.
Watch out, because they're starting to put some wins together.
Dylan Brooks, man.
They're starting to put some wins together.
They're getting it together, and they're rising to the rankings, and they didn't start off the season that rough. And so I think that's where the Clippers kind of come in. Is I think they are such a hole that at best they're going to be a play-in team. So I don't necessarily see them in the top 5. So I'd probably say the Suns or the Rockets. I like the Suns more as of right now. And then the Timberwolves, the Spurs, the Nuggets, and the Thunder. I think that is a clear-cut top 5, that's who it's going to be. So roughly 6 potential, but clear cut 1 through 4. And we'll see it between the Suns and the Rockets. I love that rivalry. Kevin Durant was traded from the Suns, did not work out well on the Suns team, kind of a disappointment. And now, Dylan Brooks got traded from the Rockets. So there's a lot of they know each other. It's a good fight. I think that's a really exciting matchup. Ideally, we get them at 4 and 5 and see them face each other first round of the playoffs. That'd be quite a story.
That would be ideal. That would be the story, and that would be absolutely fantastic for people in the Rocky Mountain region.
Cinema. Pure cinema. Let them fight it out.
Pure cinema.
But yeah, so Sam, growing up for you, outside of the Nuggets, I guess within the Nuggets, what kind of was one of the more favored eras of basketball for you so far?
You said within the Nuggets?
Well, just I guess the eras of basketball. We'll open it up, outside of that. What was something that really stuck with you from an ears perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I'm biased. I'm a Michael Jordan fan. So that era, Michael Jordan era, it was really cool.
The 90s.
It was really cool to witness. I take pride in greatness, and it was cool because I think I really learned that through Michael Jordan. The details, the effort, the discipline. He really, really, really taught me all of those things, along with my coach in basketball. But yeah, I got to see Michael Jordan play the last game on the Washington Wizards here in the Ball Arena. At the time, it was called Pepsi Center.
Yeah.
That was probably highlight of my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I mean,
because that's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
For him that was one of his final games.
Okay. Wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Shout out my mom.
Shout out mom for taking you to the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up. No, that's always cool to go see someone that you admire like that.
Yeah.
And then to see it in person. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I ever saw Jordan in person, in a real game. I've seen him in gyms and at camps, but I don't think I ever saw him in a real game. But I did get to see a lot of really cool players and historic players throughout the year. So that definitely means a lot. And I'm sure you'll carry that with you.
Yeah. It's cool. You're witnessing greatness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's unique. We're still talking about it today.
Right.
It's something that really stands out, especially associated with the sport. And I think we're in a kind of a situation like that right now with Jokic. Very similar building blocks. And Jokic is going to be gone just as mysteriously as he arrived. I think that's going to be kind of the situation with him. So
he will be.
Appreciating it now is important. But DT, for you, kind of same question. What is one of the eras of basketball that really stand out as memorable, or just ones that you like? Maybe not even one that you witnessed personally, but
obviously I'm with you with the 90s. I think that we saw a changing of what the NBA was to where it was going to be now. I really liked the early 2000s just because it was a type of basketball that was high flying. It was a lot of super athletic people who weren't always, necessarily the best players that you'll go down and remember, but you'll remember the Steve Nash Suns, the Dirk Mavericks. You're gonna remember some really good teams like out west. I even remember Kevin Durant when he was on the Supersonics and they were really good, or when Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and James Harden were all on Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Right. That's insane still that they were all on the same team and they didn't do anything with it. They were in the finals a lot those years, but they didn't do anything with it. Was it only once?
Yeah, just one time.
Wow, I thought they were. Oh, maybe they're just in the playoffs.
They were always competitive.
But that's crazy though. That's crazy when you think back to those kind of just those battles, the last years of Kobe. I did get to go to the last game of Kobe's at Staples Center.
Oh wow,
that was really, really cool.
60 points.
One of my favorites. Shout out to my guy, Coach Mike Brown. He actually got us into a Lakers Nuggets Christmas Day game. So I got to go to that and be up close and see the Nuggets when they had those powder blue, kind of silky uniforms.
Satin.
Yeah. With I think
AI.
The AI. I think that was the crossover of AI, Melo, and Chauncey.
Freaking, that's an era right there.
So that was that's really cool. But I think that era was really kind of my favorite, because then you had guys like Sean Marion, right, who was just crazy athletic, like weird shot, everything was like, I don't know. There was just, Darius Miles. You had the Clippers who were like kind of like what the Thuggets were before the Thuggets. Right. I don't know. It was like this athletic Latrell Sprewell, right? Like you had this like crazy athletic group of guys who were kind of rough around the edges that were, Kenyon Martin ready to fight on the court. The 2000s, early 2000s, I think still holds a lot of dearness, and that might be my favorite just because of those kind of characters you had on the court.
Yeah. The athletes were really more focused on just being athletes back then too. And there wasn't so much behind the game as there is now. Like back then it was so much more individual choices, like working out, your nutrition, what you do on the court. I think that's one thing like I really like about the 2000s was it was kind of, and we saw this a little bit in the 2010s, but it's definitely started falling off after Steph really rose, but it's the guys who can do everything now. And back then it was specialists.
Yeah.
You had a guy who shot 3-pointers or maybe a couple. You had a guy who played lockdown defense, and then maybe you had a star who could do it all.
Yeah.
But you really relied on piecing these guys together to make a championship team. And now it's like, okay, everyone does everything, but like certain guys do certain things just a little bit better than the others. There still are technically specialists out there, but it's just not like what it used to be. It used to be like guys like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I'm blanking on the name here, but the guy from the Thunder also really stands out for me. It was Cephalosha, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Just like defensive specialists, like literally could not score on
like Tony Allen.
Tony Allen, that's exactly what I was trying to think of. Grizzlies, not Thunder.
Tony Allen,
man. Oh my gosh, he couldn't do it today.
No,
you got to be able to score. This guy couldn't even get like layups some of the times. I mean, you'd be lucky if you scored 6 points. And so this year of basketball has changed so much in the sense that everyone shoots 35% from 3 or more, or you don't play.
Right.
Everyone can technically play defense. I think it comes from an effort perspective, but
true.
Just, everyone possesses all around skill sets. They can all dribble the ball. They can all shoot the ball. They can all do everything.
Right.
And it's positionless. And it just didn't used to be that way. It used to be so specific to a shooting guard is a shooting guard.
Yeah.
A point guard is a point guard. A center is a center. They stand under the basket. They don't go to a mid-range center as a unicorn in that era. You know? So it's just kind of interesting to see the shift, but also just so interesting, like the guys that we're talking about, like names that would not be known without the need for those types of specialists. So it's just kind of a unique era for basketball where you're really piecing these teams together.
Yeah. And I'm a big fan of it. And they run less sets now. They run a lot less sets. And as our show grows, we'll get into some of the sets and calling out sets and stuff like that. We've talked about that, but there's a lot less sets in basketball now where you don't have to be positioned. You can be positionless because everyone is so athletic and is a ball handler and is a scorer, rebounder, can start the break, all of those kind of things that we like to see now in our game today. So I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, one thing that we do need to shout out here before we start closing things out. So we have a really big event tonight.
Yes.
Doing a halftime press conference or just a show here with DC, Gianna, and Mark Robinson.
Watch along as the Nuggets are on the road. So we're giving you some content while the Nuggets are on the road. Come watch us tonight. Gianna, Mark Robinson, and I will be here in studio. I think there's a pregame.
Yeah, you guys are doing a halftime show and postgame show.
And then we'll have a postgame show all going on tonight. So make sure that you guys are still locked in on Nuggets basketball tonight because we'll have something special for you.
Yeah, and last, shout out to our sponsor, Furniture Row.
Furniture Row for this beautiful
furniture here in the studio.
This is fantastic.
Really comfortable furniture, honestly.
Yeah, how are the seats feeling?
Amazing.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's like I like melt in these chairs.
Yeah, you get real comfy after a while.
It's like you almost you get lulled a little bit. You know, I could sit in these chairs for a long time, but it's good because we're up here for hours at a time. So
we are.
Really helps us out with these long shows. But
that's true.
Last and final thing, thank you so much, Sam, for coming on the show.
Where can they find you?
Really appreciate you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at @isfreshsam, and from there I have all my links.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Go check her out. Like, follow, subscribe for the show and for Sam. Another great episode of the Court Report today.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have for y'all this week. We'll be here again next Wednesday live for another episode of the Court Report.
I'll see you then.